everyone, my name is Evan and I like to make stop-motion dinosaurs and monsters, and during this YouTube video today, we're gonna restore my legendary Godzilla today, I do say. Our legendary G-Man's a little worse for wear, you could say. After his battle with Shimo, he did break a few things, I'll have you know. But that's okay, we'll be fixing him today, I do say. And as I repair this Godzilla today, we'll be going over some Monsterverse news, I say. So we'll be talking about the 6th cinematic entry into the Monsterverse today. It's been quite the roller coaster so far. We've gone from super gritty to realistic, to completely wacky science fiction, and somewhere in between. The one thing that has remained consistent, however, each deliver the movie monster fighting action we have been looking for. However, things have changed over the years in regards to the Monsterverse. Legendary seems to be a lot less focused on world building in these movies, and that's having a very massive and negative effect on the overall quality of the product. And unfortunately, people are beginning to notice, with some people believing that the quality has only decreased throughout the years. So, where did they go wrong and what can be done to fix it? Now, I think it's important to remember that each one of these films should be loved for their own reasons. You want to watch a more serious film? Well, 2014 is there. If you want just a fun movie monster mash, well, the new Empire is there. However, it's safe to say that the general consensus for these films, they're pretty good films, but dumb fun. Which I think is something that movie monster fans have been trying to escape from for a very long time now, especially in the Western eyes. The first 3 films spent a long time growing their universes and setting up a good mystery. What are these giant kaijus? Where did they come from and how many are there? And probably most important of all, why did they attack? Their marketing did this extensively, similar to what Jurassic World did. I remember the leads back in 2014 and how they were setting up this monster hunting organization known as Monarch. Boy, that's come a long ways. With both Skull Island and the King of the Monsters only solidifying this further, really making the world feel real and lived in. With Monarch doing everything in their power to document these kaijus and try to keep the world safe. Now, unfortunately, that seems to be entirely lost. For example, the Monarch team congratulates one another, whilst thousands of individuals in Rio have passed away. Now, a lot of that has to do with the lighter-hearted tones, which the director Wingard has been aiming for. You can't really draw too much attention to these catastrophic events without it seriously affecting the mood, dude. So things like DC, or the flattening of Hong Kong, or the catastrophic global disaster that was the King of the Monsters, has all been but ignored. So, what needs to change exactly? Now, possibly the biggest change you all already know about is the director. Wingard has created 2 magnificent Monsterverse films and is unfortunately moving on to other projects now. And his replacement is relatively unknown Australian filmmaker Grant Sputor, a director that exceeds in low-budget films, making the most out of his resources to deliver a high-quality product. A very similar creator to Gareth Edwards, the granddaddy of the Monsterverse. I Am Mother was Grant's most recent film, released on Netflix a few years back. And the visual sets and the practical sets, and not to mention the tone, was just excellent. Now, for those of you who have seen this movie, I want you to guess the budget. 40 million? 30 million? Nope, it was only 5 million. Honestly, that is incredible and only possible with the ingenuity of a great director. The film is both rich in detail with both the visuals and the story. It does an excellent job immersing you into this science fiction world, making you fall in love with the characters and settings. And as a quick review standpoint, I give this movie like 9.5 out of 10. It's highly recommended, it's really good. But I think this is exactly what the Monsterverse needs. That attention to detail that has been lost in recent years, and replaced with don't question it, just enjoy the film. If you've seen Grant's previous work, you'll know that he prefers a slightly darker style, which means we might see the return of a more grounded tone, very much like the very first Monsterverse movie. And whilst this doesn't mean it's immediately going to be a great film, that means we could actually witness the consequences, or the fallout from the previous series. Pun intended. Which in turn will make the universe feel more real, in a franchise where the lore really matters. And in my honest opinion, while GXK was a lot of fun, it didn't really add much to the universe, which personally was the part that bugged me the most about it. After The King of the Monsters, it felt like there was years of things to talk about. Revelations on the monsters' way of life, how they were worshipped, how they got around, and really grew the universe in new and interesting ways. However, on the other hand, the new Empire just kind of reassures us on things we already knew. Like, yep, there's people in the Hollow Earth and there's more Kongs, and magically another Mothra somehow. But unfortunately, it doesn't really tell us much in regards to lore because it really wasn't the film's focus. But with grand stylistic focus, that might change. And I think the franchise should dive deeper into the human aspect and the societal consequences of these mega monster battles, highlighting the planet-wide destruction and the psychological trauma that is inflicted on survivors. The narrative could return to portraying the monsters as ancient, unstoppable forces of nature, reclaiming the world ravaged of human mistakes. Characters should be complex and morally ambiguous, grappling with impossible choices and the weights of their actions. Visually, the film could appear more somber and realistic, using contrasted cinematography and having proper action sequences to help properly give scale to these massive titans and provide a sense of dread that the new Empire was simply missing. Grounding the story in a harsher reality, the Monsterverse can invoke a more powerful and emotional response and offer compelling commentary on the fragile balance between man and nature. This is the Monsterverse we all fell in love with in 2014, and I would personally really like to see something like that return back to the big screen. On the small screen, however, Monarch Legacy of Monsters did a great job showing just how the world has changed, with life alongside titans, with Japan building turrets on their bridges to help defend Tokyo, just in case of a kaiju attack. Flying has also changed dramatically, as they spray pesticides now to prevent any Titan-related viruses. And we saw a lot more on how Monarch was formed and how it also functions. The movies have really lacked this in recent years, and that's mainly because it hasn't been the director's focus. Now, I'm in firm belief that this kind of stuff should be shown in the films, in regards to Japan, well, bearing arms for kaijus. Because like it or not, this is how the majority of the audience watches the Monsterverse. And I believe Grant will deliver just that, bringing with him a slightly darker tone, even if it's not as dark as 2014. I believe it'll be naturally more grounded and have more attention to detail, which I'm sure fans of Gareth Edwards, Vox Roberts, and Doherty's films will very much appreciate it. Wingard has hinted at already that this third film will be much darker, taking more inspiration from Godzilla vs. Destoroyah, which could be a potential enemy from what I heard. But I think it's safe to say we're gonna get a more emotionally involved Godzilla film next. So if that was Wingard's intentions before already handing the reins over to Grant Sputor, hopefully that means there will be no holding back. And he gets to go all out on the dark science fiction aspects that he excelled with I Am Mother back in 2019. We will know what his intentions are for the upcoming film soon. But if he can bring back the sense of mystery as we uncover more about these monsters and their hidden world, then we're back on track to being the Monsterverse that intrigued so many from the very beginning. So, what are you looking forward to seeing the most in the next movie? Are you excited that we may be returning to the more grounded films that started this whole thing off? Or would you prefer for it to be even more silly? Let me know in the comments below. Anyways, if you enjoyed this Godzilla restoration video today, be sure to smash that like button as hard as a kaiju, as I like to say. Share with your monster-loving friends, and subscribe if you're new today, because there isn't a better time to do that, I say. Due to the fact that I'm preparing for Godzilla Zombie Dinosaur War, you could say. But first, we do have to restore a few more characters, I say. Will it be Godzilla -1 or the original 1954 one? Or dare I say, the three-headed dragon known as King Ghidorah, so they say. Who knows, you better subscribe today, I do say. Or be sure to have your post notifications turned on today so you don't miss a short update or a video that's coming your way. Anyways, that's enough from me today. Enjoy the rest of the glamour shots, I do say. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the very end of the video. Be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the content, comment below what you think, share with your friends, and perhaps consider subscribing if you're new. Anyway, that's enough from me. Till next time, take it easy.